Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a very simple, very natural look today. Something great for every day, great for work, great for school. I'm totally kidding. As you can tell from the title, this is going to be my submission for the Top 15 Challenge number 2 for the Face Awards Australia and New Zealand. The theme was dreaming in candy, so I came up with this really evil looking cotton candy monster man. I don't know what I am. So guys, if you want to see how to get this look from start to finish, then keep on watching. Okay guys, so for the first part of this tutorial, we are going to be making the shoulder pads, aka this thing right here, whipped cream, cherry on top kind of deal. You get it, okay. Okay guys, so there is definitely a few things you're going to be needing. Most of this stuff you can get from your local craft shop or hardware store. So first thing you're gonna need are some party hats, party cones. You can get these from any craft shop, literally everywhere has it now. You're also gonna need some expanding foam and the attachments, and 3 ping pong balls and a pin. Also grab some brushes that you don't really care about if you get them dirty or ruin them. You are also going to be needing some protective gloves, and we're also going to be needing some acrylic paint. So I have a baby pink and a white, but you can also grab a light blue if that's the color that you want to use. I'm going to show you how to make your own blue because I didn't have one. You are also going to be needing some glitters of your choice, some craft and hobby glue, PVA glue, the same thing, and of course the blue chalk. And to be honest, just do yourself a favor, get yourself a filtered mask, just so when we use the expanding foam, it's pretty dangerous, so you want to protect yourself from any fumes. You are also going to need a bowl, any bowl will do, doesn't matter, and you're also going to need a file. Now you can get one of these from your local hardware store, or if you have any other kind of file, that will work as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be making is the whipped cream. So grab your party hat, and you're also going to need some gloves, so go ahead and pop these on. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is grab your party hat, your party cone, whatever, and grab a piece of sticky tape. I forgot to mention this, sorry. And you're just going to want to like wrap it around and wrap it in a way that you can tape it to the side, because basically this is going to make sure that we can still use this to get it onto our heads slash shoulders once we're done, and that way it doesn't get in the way of the expanding foam itself. You're also going to want to put on your mask. Then you want to give your expanding foam a really good shake, and then you want to do a couple of tests. And make sure you guys have some kind of supervision if you're doing this for the first time as well. I don't, but I'm a grown up, I guess, so yep. So I'm gonna do this over here. I'm just going to start layering on the product and turning the cone as I go. Okay, so now that I've done the bottom layer, I'm going to sit it down, get it stand up, and just start working around it. And then just go in wherever you need some extra and just fill those places in. Okay, so now we have done that, we're gonna just let that go, just leave it, it's gonna expand and whatever. Okay, so now let's move on to making the paint and making the blue chalk that we're going to use to color the cotton wool, cotton candy, you know, yeah, okay. So you wanna grab your file, grab your chalk. You basically just want to go back and forth, and you at least wanna do maybe half of the chalk block itself. Also guys, I'm doing blue because I already have graded down the pink for the shoulder pads, and I'm deciding to do blue on the top of my head. Okay, so now we have done that, let's put that aside. Okay, so now we're gonna make the cherry for the cherry on top. So here I have a ping pong ball that I spray painted red and jammed a toothpick in with it. If you guys find it hard to jam the toothpick in, get a pin, pierce it, and then stick the toothpick in it, and it holds it a lot better. So I actually just finished spray painting this, and it is now dry. So here I also have a twig that I just ripped in half and then spray painted red as well. And also we do want to keep the toothpick in because this is what we're going to use to jam it into the actual, yeah. So I'm going to grab this twig here, and I'm going to cut about that much. And I know that cherry stalks aren't red, but that's okay, like whatever. And then I'm going to come here on the opposite side and just make a little hole here. And then I'm going to grab that and just stick that in there to the side. Okay, now that we have done that, we just have to wait for that to be done. It's gonna take about an hour or two for it to be fully set for us to be able to paint over the top of. As soon as it's finished drying, like it takes, no joke, 15 minutes to get the rest done, and then it's finished. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so it's been about roughly an hour that this has been sitting here for. And you basically just wanna cut around the paper. That's why it's really important you do it on paper. Now you want to just cut around the whole thing. I even sometimes cut it and then just rip the rest. You just really want to make sure that you're careful when you are ripping this, because if you're not careful and you rip this, it's going to be a sticky mess. Okay, so I'm going to finish ripping out the rest once this finishes drying. Now we want to go ahead and decorate. I'm going to grab our bowl here and our acrylic paint. So I'm just going to squeeze a bit of that out. I want this to be like a nice baby blue kind of color. Okay, so now I'm going to just use the brush to mix that in. Okay, I want it to be a little bit more blue. And I'm actually getting rid of the majority of the paint on the brush, just because we want to give a bit more definition and add some shape to where each of the rolls are. And this does not have to be neat at all, guys. Okay, so that's pretty much all the painting we're going to do on it. As you can tell, it's pretty basic, but it's where the sprinkles come in that makes it what it is. So we are going to now grab a brush. I'm using a foundation brush that I don't really care about. I'm going to grab our PVA glue, and then I'm going to use this, and I'm actually just going to paint straight over the wet paint. I'm not even gonna wait for this to dry, because like that's just how impatient I am, and it doesn't really matter. And I find this adds a really nice glossy layer to the actual paint itself, so it's pretty nice, it's gorge. Okay, so now for the fun part, we're gonna grab our two glitters of choice. I'm gonna be using pink and blue. Then you just wanna kind of tip it to the side and then just tap it out as you need it. And then I'm gonna repeat the same with the pink. Then you just want to grab your little cherry, pop it in the top. Okay, now that we have done that, let's go ahead and grab our scissors, and we're going to, and we can just go ahead and cut around the cone. Once we've done that, go ahead and take away the sticky tape to reveal the tag, and you are done. Okay guys, so now is one of the funnest parts. We are going to take some pillow stuffing, and we are going to make the fairy floss, quote unquote. So you just want to take a small amount, flatten it at first, and then you can basically just dip it into whichever color you want. And then you just want to kind of rub it in. And yes, chalk will most likely fly everywhere, but it's all worth it in the end. Okay guys, so for the next part, I actually forgot to do this in the tutorial, but we're just gonna do it real quick. So you wanna take some of your cotton candy. You basically just wanna get a hot glue gun. You can use the previous glue that we were using if you want, but I feel like hot glue just helps it stay on a lot better. So I'm just gonna start off by tearing all of this up. And also, I just got a hair comb and I hot glued it to the front. So that way when I put it on, this part here sits right into the roots of my hair. A little bit of glue, pop it straight onto the foam, press that right into the hot glue. So now we have finished this and we've done all three. We're gonna go ahead and move into the actual tutorial, so let's go. Alrighty guys, so I'm gonna start off with the Anti-Frizz Polishing Milk by REDKEN, and I'm using this to kind of just prep my hair. Now it sounds really dumb, but I'm just using it so that way the hairspray has something to grip to. Then I'm just sectioning off my hair with a clip, and I'm going to twirl my hair around and bobby pin it in place. Now I'm using like 6 or 7 bobby pins in different directions, just that way when we put on the headpiece, it stays on really well. Now I'm grabbing the white hairspray. I'm sure you can get this from your local party store like I did, and you just want to basically spray your whole entire head white. You may have to do a couple of layers of this because it can go a little bit wet, and as you can see I ended up having to use a makeup wipe to get rid of the excess. Now I'm going to be using 3 different body paints, a white, a red, and a purple. So I'm using some water and I'm using that to activate the paint. So I'm mixing the red and the white together. That way we can get a more pink shade. Basically just mixing them together, and I'm applying this pretty much everywhere, you guys. As you can tell, I'm using a flat foundation brush because I found that was easiest for the face. Then for the body, you want to grab the biggest synthetic powder brush you can find, and you want to use this to coat your entire chest, neck, shoulders, arms, and pretty much your whole chest area. Also guys, all of the makeup that I'm going to be using in this tutorial is by NYX Professional Makeup Australia. Now I'm going to grab a little bit more of the white mixed with the red and using that under the eye just to create a little bit more of a highlighted effect to make me look more awake and not as tired and pink, you know. Then I'm going to use the purple and use this to contour. So actually this was where I kind of screwed up a little bit. It's really important to go back and forth with the foundation brush with the original color on it. That way it blends out really, really nicely. And then I just kept on going back over that to intensify it and blending it out with that same brush. And then I'm popping that on my forehead as well as on the sides of my nose to contour, add a little bit more shape. Next, I'm going to take the NYX Primal color in the shade Hot Blue, and I'm using this as my crease slash transition shade. The pigmentation on this was so good, you guys. So creamy, so blendable. So you want to use this and wing it out as well on the outer corner. And then when I go in with the NYX eyeshadow in the shade Electroshock, and I'm just going to pop this all over the lid with a short shader brush. Next, I'm also going to smudge that on my lower lash line just to create more of a hazy, smoky, defined kind of look, you know, give my eyes more dimension. Next, I'm going to take the NYX Vivid Brights eyeliners as well as the white liquid liner, and I'm going to use these to dot all over my eye just to create like a sprinkles kind of effect, you know. So I'm going to use all of the different colors, and guys, when you're doing this, do not blink. I know it sounds dumb, but do not look up, do not look down, don't move your eyes. Try to move them as less as possible, that way you don't get any transfer. Now I'm going to grab the black liquid liner. This is the matte liquid liner by NYX. This has quickly become my absolute favorite liquid liner of all time. And now I'm going to take the NYX eyeshadow base in white, or number 1, and I'm going to use this to coat through my brows and to fill them in with an angled brush as well. So I took a spoolie here and I just used that to kind of flatten it and just to comb that white through the brow. And then here I was deciding which color I wanted to use for my lips. So I went ahead and used the NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the shade Respect the Pink. And I just applied this straight with the applicator. It was actually really, really easy to apply this color. I was actually very shocked. So pigmented, so creamy, and my lips did not feel dry after I had finished shooting. My lips still felt really, really nice and hydrated. So thank you, NYX, for doing that for me. Next, I'm going to highlight with the Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powders. I'm actually mixing 2 shades here. The first one that I'm using is Lavender Steel, and then I'm going into my inner corner with Snow Rose, and I'm also using that same one as my nose highlight. Now I'm going to go in with Hot Fuchsia and use this as a blush. This is a primal color, once again, popping that on with a round blending brush. And to be honest, I was actually winging this part. Yeah, I actually had no idea what I was doing. I was just throwing things on and hoping for the best, and it came out pretty good. Next, I'm going to grab some cosmetic sponges that you can get from Priceline and some liquid latex, and I'm going to use the liquid latex on the sponge, and as you can see here, I'm just applying it pretty much everywhere. I'm applying the blue cotton candy, the pink cotton candy, I'm applying it pretty much everywhere. I want it to almost create a collar effect. And then you want to slide in your little hat that we made, and then you want to use some gaffer tape or Tarzan tape. Basically, you can get this from any hardware store. This is just really, really strong electrical tape. And then you want to fold it like this, and then you want to put it on either side of the shoulder ones in this position here. That way it sticks on, and as you can tell, I had to get some help because I couldn't see behind me. So it really, really does help if you have someone that can help you put this on as well, because they can tape it down a lot easier. Now I'm putting in my contacts. I just cleaned my hands of any excess paint that I had, and I was actually having some problems, so I decided to do it off camera real quickly. And then I just got a pair of lashes, painted them white with the white liquid liner, and make sure you let them dry as well, guys. I did this the night before shooting just to make it a little bit easier, and pop that on with some lash glue. Now I'm grabbing a spoolie or a empty mascara one with no product on it, and I'm dipping that straight into the white liquid eyeliner because I'm going to use this as my mascara. So now I'm going to paint my hands and the tips of my fingers, and I'm going to be popping on my nails. I'm going to leave a tutorial for how to create these nails down below, and I was feeling myself, as you can tell, and once you have done that, then you are pretty much finished. Okay guys, now it's time to take this mess off and say goodbye to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the headpiece and rip off my nails. I know that it's really bad to do that, but whatever, do what you gotta do. Then I'm going to clean my hands of any paint, and then I'm going to take out my contacts. I thought I would leave this part in, even though it's a bit squeamish, because I know that there are people who really enjoy watching people take out contact lenses. I know that's a thing. Then I'm going to rip off the rest of the outfit and the cotton wool. And then I'm going to take the Garnier Micellar Water in Oil cleansing water, and I'm going to pop that on a cotton pad and use this to take off the eyes and brows. So I usually target this on my eyes and brows because they're the hardest to take off, because I do use a lot of waterproof products, especially the brows being waterproof, because we did use a gel liner. So once you have done that, then you want to go and have a shower and you're done. Okay guys, so that concludes this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Voting is available right now. So I need you all to go to faceawards.nyxcosmetics.com.au. It's the first thing in the description. Go and vote for me, your fave, aka me. Please, 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 please get me into the top 6. It would mean the absolute world to me. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.